Welcome back from that feature on restructuring the Nigerian export value chain. And to talk deeper into this is our expert in the field, and I'm talking about our very own engineer Abayomi Onasanya, Global Director Africa House. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you again.
Thank you so much.
So we're looking at restructuring the Nigerian export value chain. So what measures can be taken to improve the quality and standard of the Nigerian export products?
Well, again, thank you for having me. Nigeria, as we all know, we're blessed in different sectors of the economy, and export is vital to our growth as a nation, and reach that particular pinnacle of excellent exports. We need to restructure the value chain in terms of the quality of the produce that we export to the rest of the world, and in terms of capacity development for the potential exporters, because as we stand right now as a nation, we do not have enough exporters because enough is not being done.
This is nice. Of course, this is nice. So we can put more videos there. Video, so we can add it here together. We can put adverts. Oh, this is nice. It's coming from here too. Oh, he's picking this too. Oh, desktop audio too. So even the microphone. Are you serious? Wow. Hello. See, it's not moving. Broadcast. Broadcast. There's a delay though. So that's the mic. So let's disable. See. Okay, wait.
Pray loud, come on, fight for it. Speak over the life, speak over the abundant life, speak over the restoration powers, speak over them that the Lord will restore the joy of their salvation.
Hello, hello, hello.
Break it open. Come on, Charlie. One more minute. One more minute.
In terms of advocacy and the process and the value chain has a lot of missing links, so to say. So we will talk about that today as we progress.
So what you're saying is we have to change the packaging, and then talking about the quantity, or the quality.
Yes, both. That's true. But the one thing that I want us to understand first and foremost is that our export as Nigeria over the last 2-3 years has been roving around $60 to $69 billion and which is abysmally low. And our potential is actually about $1 trillion. You see, if we look at it properly. And why we're doing such a meager amount of export is because we're focusing too much on crude oil and oil and gas. And our non-export non-oil export is like less than 10% of that value, of that 69 billion. And in order for us to reach that 1 trillion mark, we need to get a lot of people involved in export, because we have a lot of SMEs in Nigeria doing fantastic things. But the problem is for them to get into this export sphere, number one is scary, and number two, there's so many obstacles in their way in terms of policy, in terms of regulation, and in terms of so many things that would just make you feel, we get you depressed if you want to go into export. That's the reality. And those things, we have to address those issues. And if time permits us today, we would talk extensively about those obstacles that is preventing an average Nigerian like you and I from exporting.
Okay. So are there specific sectors within the Nigerian economy that should be prioritized to export value chain?
I believe that Africa or Nigeria can only do well in the agro-commodities sector, which is not true.
Okay.
Yes, we do have a lot of things that we can offer the world, and unfortunately, we focus too much on very few products like cashew, ginger, sesame, and of recently, people are talking about hibiscus and other things. But we have so much more as a nation. Why aren't we looking at the finished products export? Because the truth is, if you are making 1 naira from raw exports, you can make 10 naira from the processed version of the product. And cashew is a very good example. We export most of our cashew in the raw format, but if cashew is being processed and packaged, you can target premium markets. And our problem has always been, we believe that we can only sell to certain nations, and then all our cashew goes to 89% of our cashew, to be specific, goes to only Vietnam. Another maybe 10-12% goes to India, and then the other percentage goes to China. Says who? Exactly. And these so-called nations, these people, they reprocess our raw cashew, and then they export in finished product. I was in Kubwa because I like to move around. I don't believe in sitting in the office and talking policies. I get my fingers dirty, I get my boots dirty. So I was doing my market survey yesterday, and I went to Kubwa and I saw this lady selling manufacturing banga, which is palm oil. Packaging, everything excellent. I began to ask myself, why is she exporting? But if you ask her, she'll tell you, number one, I have a roadblock when it comes to NAFDAC. And then not only that, when it comes to customs, when I get the taxation by the local council areas or local governments and whatnot. So for her, she believes that export is something I can't even dare go into. And it's only for certain categories of businesses and whatnot, which is not true. Around the world, large economies like America and those big economies we look at, their export is being driven by the middle class, by the small and medium enterprises. Small businesses, those are the ones who pull in those billions and billions of dollars in export revenue. But in Nigeria, we focus too much on oil, and we need to let the people know that we need to encourage millions of Nigerian SMEs to export. Like let's use the Bengali as an example. If she wants to say, okay, I want to export my banga, and by the way, there's a huge market for that banga or palm oil in the West. Huge market. She could be making $2-3 million a year in that little banga business she's doing. But why is she doing that? Number one, she wants
the knowledge.
Yes, number one, the knowledge. Number two, if she wants to get the certificates and the licenses requirement, she will spend 2-3 years trying even just to get the license. And if she gets all of that, then you find the local councils, local governments, tax agencies disturbing her on a regular basis, which does not make sense. And yet we tell ourselves Nigeria is poor. We are not poor. We misplaced our priorities. People like that need to be helped. We need to ensure that if you're getting your licenses, it should not be up to maximum a week. If these agencies need to employ more people, let them employ more people to get these applications done fast and quick and let people know the right thing. Nigerians love to do the right things, but they don't know how to do it. That is our problem.
Back
So
from
teach
that
the
feature
Bengali, the
on the
madam, for your
benefits
palm
of
oil, this is the
cashew,
way, this
and
is the
with
way,
me in
this
the
is the way.
studio is
Come
a
on
friend to the
NTA, tell
house,
people, teach
engineer
them, this is how you're
Abayomi
supposed to package, these are the
Onasanya,
health
the global
requirements and
director,
whatnot, and
African
get rid
House,
of
and
all
we'll
these
be looking
unnecessary
at,
taxes.
the
A woman
reinventing the
trying to
cashew
borrow in 2
export
million naira to start
value
a business,
change.
she'll
Good
be
morning.
paying God knows
Thank
how
Good
much
to
for
always
this,
have you
this,
by our
that, and that,
side.
thank you
and
very much. Thank you for
they're
having me.
endless.
It's a
And
pleasure.
we're looking
You
at,
see?
the
Talking about,
reinventing of
the
the cashew
government,
business
how
in
can the
Nigeria.
Nigerian government
So
support the
what are the
local
potentials of
industries,
your
the right
cashew
way, so
in
that they can
Nigeria?
take these
Well,
things out?
thank you for
To
having
support the
me.
local industry, first of all, what
Cashew
I'll say is this.
is a product that we produce in Nigeria. It's one of our agricultural produce, and we've over the last few decades we've been able to cement our place in the global market as one of the leading producers of cashew. And as a result, we're earning export income from cashew, but we can do much more. You see,
Okay.
because the current cashew industry is plagued by selling it as a raw nut, in fact, you see, but we can do much more by reinventing the whole value chain in terms of processing and other things we'll talk about today
Okay.
as we proceed.
Okay, so talking about now the export, export potentials in the Nigerian cashew business. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes.
Welcome back from that feature on the benefits of cashew. And with me in the studio is a friend to the house, engineer Abayomi Onasanya, the global director, African House. And we'll be looking at, the reinventing the cashew export value change. Good morning. and it's
Thank
good to
you.
always have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a
And
pleasure.
we're looking at, the reinventing of the cashew business in Nigeria. So what are the potentials of your cashew in Nigeria?
Well, thank you for having me. Cashew is a product that we produce in Nigeria. It's one of our agricultural produce, and we've over the last few decades we've been able to cement our place in the global market as one of the leading producers of cashew. And as a result, we're earning export income from cashew, but we can do much more. You see, because the current cashew industry is plagued by selling it as a raw nut, in fact, you see, but we can do much more by reinventing the whole value chain in terms of processing and other things we'll talk about today as we proceed.
Okay, so talking about now the export, export potentials in the Nigerian cashew business. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, Nigeria, currently our export value, our export income from cashew stands at 138 million US dollars. And
monthly, weekly, or
yearly,
yearly?
actually. And it's projected that we can do up to 2 billion, in fact. And why we're doing such small volume is that we've not invested in the processing of cashew like most countries of the world do. And in fact, some countries in Asia, I won't mention which now, come into Nigeria, pack a cashew as the raw nut, and then they process it and they earn much more, in terms of what they earn. And you hear certain countries doing more cashew than Nigeria, and they don't actually produce cashew, and you begin to wonder why we not tap into this industry. So that's why we're here today to enlighten Nigerians on what we can do as individuals and as a government to try to change this narrative.
Okay, you made mention of tapping. So how can the average Nigerian tap into this cashew business?
Well, thank God for Abuja. I'll use that word, and thank God for Good Morning Abuja, because we're here on Good Morning Abuja on NTF5. In Gwagwalada market during the cashew season, you will see sacks and sacks of cashew nuts on the ground waiting for potential buyers. And oftentimes you discover that these so-called farmers complain of non-patronage. You see, let us invest our time and money into the cashew value chain, and Nigeria will be better off for it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It's
a
always a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've been discussing, the reinventing of the cashew value chain in the Nigerian industry. And he said cashew is gold and we should, invest in it. We can make money, which brings us to our next segment. Welcome back from that feature on the benefits of cashew. And with me in the studio is a friend to the house, Engineer Abayomi Onasanya, the Global Director, African House. And we'll be looking at, the reinventing the cashew export value change. Good morning. And it's good to always have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a
and
pleasure.
we're looking at, the reinventing of the cashew business in Nigeria. So what are the potentials of your cashew in Nigeria?
Well, thank you for having me. Cashew is...
Welcome back from that feature on restructuring the Nigerian export value change. And to talk deeper into this is... Welcome back from that feature on the benefits of cashew. And with me in the studio is a friend to the house, Engineer Abayomi Onasanya, the Global Director, African House. And we'll be looking at, the reinventing the cashew export value change. Good morning. And it's good to always have you here with us.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a
And
pleasure.
we're looking at, the reinventing of the cashew business in Nigeria. So what are the potentials of your cashew in Nigeria?
Well, thank you for having me. Cashew is a product that we produce